Hello, everyone. Present day William here to tell you that this upload is pretty late. We recorded this on September 29th. I'm here looking at my calendar. It is October 9th now. Listen, I'm a busy guy, okay? I don't need crap from you. But yeah, that is my bad. I made an oopsie with my schedule, so this is my first chance to upload this. So enjoy us talking about, some things are evergreen, and then some things are like the intro to this show, which are us talking about how the Silent Hill 2 remake doesn't look that bad. And then it came out, and there's some discourse around that, but it came out and the reviews are all like, hey, it's not that bad. It's pretty good, which is fascinating to me specifically. But anyway, we're talking about some events as though they haven't happened yet, because when we recorded this, they hadn't happened. And here we are. Thanks, everybody.
It's especially funny because I could understand that if Silent Hill 2 Remake was looking worse and worse every time they showed it. But it's actually looking better and better every time they show it, which is really concerning to me specifically, because I was extremely determined that game was going to suck really bad. And now
I wasn't.
What?
Sorry, I'm under my desk. I said I wasn't. I was hopeful still. I remember whenever that first trailer came out, it did look kind of like dog ass, though.
I was like, there's no way that Bloober Team are the guys for this, right? Like that was just my feeling.
This is their first one, right?
First one, what?
Isn't this their first remake?
Oh, yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I don't think they've done anything like that before. So everything else they've done has been their own output, and I haven't liked it really. So,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. Kind of weird.
I think it's a silly. I only think it's a silly thing. Because there's a lot more that goes into, like, oh well, all you did was take the concept and then make it prettier. Is what it seems like. The idea is, and there's so much more than that, because like taking an older game and then still keeping its style and essence and soul, and also being able to shed away the like older game mechanics that are just not good anymore, or not useful, or being able to like accurately target the parts of the game that were not additive but were instead, like taking away from the experience, and then carrying that over into a modern rendition. I think that takes a lot of skill, and I think it takes a lot of like vision to do that. So
yeah, I mean, it's hard as hell to remake a game that people like, and I mean, especially like, Silent Hill is a franchise that has been thrown under the bus many times, by Konami. So it's like remember they did those, what were those remasters on the PS3 or whatever of like the old, was that 1, 2, and 3, or just 2 and 3? I don't actually remember, but yeah, they did those old remasters and they were total dog ass and they didn't look right, and there were just lots of little decisions that made them very ugly. The frame rate was terrible, which is funny because they were supposed to be like the, embracing the power of newer consoles, and then they just sucked ass or something. Maybe they were even PS4 games. I don't remember, but yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, I think it's funny to come to this conclusion now, because I feel like when remakes and remasters were first becoming common on the scene, people were more understandably annoyed by them then, I guess, because it was like a thing that felt, I don't know, like a new habit that you were like, we don't want this to become a thing, charging for games that we already own again. But at this point, it's just part of it. We're too late. You can't stop it now. I mean, it's
if
done,
anything,
dude.
they're coming out at such a like the pace at which they're coming out is just so much greater too.
I mean,
like people were talking about doing the Metal Gear Solid 5 remake. Like skipping 4 and going to 5.
We can't talk about that. I don't have it in me. Yeah, I mean they're for sure gonna do a remaster of 5 because they're doing that Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 or whatever. So I mean they'll have to put, I mean, what other games do you put in there? You have to put 5 in there, right? Like, what actually would it be? Would it be like, actually, I have a question. Do they include the PSP games?
Acid
1 and 2, and then you had what was it, Portable Ops?
Oh yeah. And there was a Peace Walker game.
That was they already did a console port of that, I remember, a PS3 port, but
yeah.
Did Peace Walker was that a Vita or PSP? That was Vita.
That's Vita, I'm pretty sure, right?
I think so too.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been so fucking long. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I haven't thought about these fucking games in a while.
Yeah. I mean, Acid 1, I like that game.
Yeah, I thought that I was alone on that. I think you're the only other person that I know that has played that game. Crossy, have you played that game?
Acid?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear Acid.
No, but I want to say it's one of those things for this. It's actually the same reason I've never played any Metal Gear Solid game, and it's because I watched every content covered on G4 about it, and I just felt like I had no reason to. I feel like I lived vicariously through their experiences.
Acid had like an hour and 10-minute opening cutscene. I remember that. Oh, goodbye. But yeah, Acid had like an hour and 10-minute.
Honestly, don't hit the big red button. It disconnects you from the call. Yeah, I do remember Acid's opening cutscene being really long. I mean, in a franchise known for really long opening cutscenes. Like, dude, do you remember Metal Gear Solid 4's opening?
I remember watching B-Paul play it.
You've forgotten. Play it. Come on, dude. Play it. There's nothing to play. It's seriously 45 minutes.
Isn't the ending like 2 hours and 30 minutes long? Isn't the ending cutscene like supposedly like that long? Fuck, wait.
I don't think that's true, but that would be insane. And I'm also exaggerating the 45-minute number for the opening as well. But I mean, it is really fucking long.
Yeah, isn't sorry if y'all just said this. I was reading something. Halls of Torment went into 1.0 recently. Anyway, fucking isn't the beginning of 4 like literally over an hour?
That's what we were talking about.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so I was wrong. It is 71 minutes long. It has the Guinness World Record for the longest ending.
You're talking about Metal Gear Solid 4's ending?
Yeah.
71 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. Which is honestly odd to me because I thought Death Stranding 2 had an ending cutscene that was longer than that. Or I guess it's not the final cutscene, so it doesn't count.
I remember liking the ending to Metal Gear Solid 4 a lot, but I don't really remember it being super long. So I guess if it's good, then no one cares. is the rule here.
Is the opening longer than the ending?
No, the opening is not longer, but it is long.
Really?
It's I mean,
I don't know why I thought it was like an hour and a half. Am I thinking of another Metal Gear Solid
cutscene
that has like an hour and a half long opening?
I mean, the total number of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4 is 7 hours and 40 minutes, according to this forum post.
That I don't even believe that.
Really? You don't believe that?
I feel like it would be longer than that. Yeah.
You really think it would be longer than that for a 20-hour game? I would say that game is probably generously.
Is it 20 hours long?
I would say it's 15 to 20 hours long. Roughly half of that is you know what I mean? Like maybe 15 hours. I can't really remember. It's been a long time.
I guess I'm just completely not remembering that game correctly. But I mean, if it's like 20 hours long, it's got like 7 hour hours of cutscenes, and yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Man. Anyway. Okay. We're back. We're back. Welcome. This time I'm doing the intro before 1 hour into the show. You're listening to the Infinite Scale podcast. We are here. We are gaming. We've been gaming. Hot and heavy. Mostly Deadlock. We're not going to talk about Deadlock again. I think it's too soon. I don't even have any more informed opinions about Deadlock. It just continues to be really fun.
Yeah, it's the same game.
Same game. I mean, well, you know, they continue to make changes and add shit. And okay, all right. I'm really quick, and then we move on. The fact that they keep changing the lane layout.
I'm alright with that.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm alright with that. I dig it.
I mean, I am all right with that, but also like those first few games when you load in, you're like, where the fuck am I? It'd be like if you went home one day and there was just a new hallway. Like you're like, I've been here hundreds of times and now there's a new hallway. You can't just do that, you know? So I want to talk about what we've been playing, but really quickly, I wanted to do a looking back and a looking forward check-in, because we do this probably every few months or so, where we talk about what's coming up and stuff like that. But really quickly, because we're over halfway through the year, but I would say for when we usually do Game of the Year. We have about 5 months or so left to go. So I want to get a little taste. I want to get a little taste of what you guys have in your top 10. But I don't want all of them. I want the bottom 5. That's what I'm looking for here. I want to know the bottom 5. You know, we can't give away the good shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to hear that fucking, you know, Unicorn Overlord is your game of the year. That's probably not true for either. Although it's probably, I bet it's is it top 5? Is it Unicorn Overlord top 5?
It's pretty damn good, dude.
Okay.
That's a good ass fucking game.
I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is you think that Astro Bot will be number 10 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like I want the stuff that you're like, yeah, that was pretty damn good, but you know, it's not number 1. Like that's what I'm looking for here. Mostly because I feel like the games we usually end up, when we do our Game of the Year stuff at the end of the year, we usually end up really liking about 5 games and spreading out most of our talk around those. So, I don't know. What's creeping up in the list? What's something that you played that you're like, I liked that enough that it would be in a top 10 if I was doing one?
You know what came out this year that doesn't really feel like it came out this year is Pal World.
I'm banning Merced. Hold on, let me finalize this ban here.
No, it's one of those things I'm hyper aware of because it came out when I moved and I didn't have internet for like over a month. Because they fucked up the internet in this apartment complex.
I remember that.
Specifically for my unit though, and it took them a while to just come do it. But
that does feel like a weirdly long time ago, but was that January or February?
That was all of January basically, and some of February, I want to say.
Okay.
Because I ended up, playing Persona at some point, but I was waiting for Persona so I could have something to do. So
yeah, I remember you said you like hotspot connected to your console so you could download Persona 3.
Persona.
And then,
yeah. And then the hotspot data ran out and it took like an eternity to finish like the last few gigabytes. But anyway, so it's like one of those things where I feel like I really missed the moment in time because it seemed like everybody was playing it in Discord. Not literally, but more people than I thought. Like, I think even Merced was playing it, and I don't know. I didn't think. Where are you playing it, Merced?
I played
yeah,
the fuck out of
he
it.
played a lot of it.
Yeah.
I basically stayed offline during those weeks because I just fucking could not stand that game.
Hey, you said the bottom 5 of 10. So
Yeah,
that's
no.
That's a bottom 5 of 10 game if I've ever seen one.
For sure. Yeah, I could see that being somebody's number 10 if they have brain damage.
It seemed pretty fun, and even though I could play it now, and kind of even tried to play it when I did get internet, I like kind of booted it up, and I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just check it out. It still kind of felt bad that I missed the moment where everybody just was playing it.
Sure.
Whether I wanted to or not, they were there doing the things.
That it definitely added a lot to the experience.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
For sure.
Speaking of Persona, I could see that being a bottom 5 of 10 game for me as well.
I mean, it's a remake, so it's.
I mean, they did a lot to it. Like,
oh, did
I'd
they?
have to look, but I don't even know if it'd be on my top 10, honestly. Like, I loved it, and there were no complaints, enjoyed my time. And if I wouldn't have got internet, I probably would have finished it. So,
word.
There's a lot of good stuff that came out this year. I'm kind of looking at a list right now, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I mean.
Yeah, these are the ones that I made a point to jot down.
Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. That is a bottom 5 of 10 if I do get around to finishing that game, I'm sure.
I need to play that, actually.
What's something that... The problem with... this is why we've never done a top 10 list, is because too many games do come out, but we don't play... I would say, I'm trying to think. Have I played 10 games that came out this year that I feel that strongly about? Maybe. I bet Tactical Breach Wizards would be a bottom 5 of 10 for me. Some
of them just don't have I don't have a whole lot to say. Tekken 8.
I think I have one for you.
Yeah.
Balatro. That is like...
this year?
Yes, it did.
I think
February.
it did. Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
And I will say, I could see, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying people are so obsessed with that game. I bet that game's going to get Game of the Year from some folks.
I respect it just in terms of it did a lot for the roguelike genre in terms of expanding exactly what you can do with the concept of, deck building and roguelike elements at the same time.
I have never played it still.
It's great.
It came out on iOS 2 days ago or so, right? Was it Thursday?
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah. I've actually always hoped it would come to mobile because I feel like it'd be the perfect thing for me now. Whereas I used to like mobile games that were more in depth and were basically real video games.
Yeah.
Now I try to be on my phone as little as possible, so I'd like something that's a little more contained of an experience that I could also walk away from and, in theory, still be in the same spot because Balatro remembers where you are in your run.
Yeah.
To a T, so I could walk away at any moment and return at any moment. In theory, it's perfect for mobile.
Yeah, I'm curious. I should try. I downloaded it because I pay for the extra storage for Apple subscription shit, so you get Apple game shit, whatever, free games all the time, and Balatro is one of them. And I downloaded it and I have not booted it up, but I'm very curious how the user interface works because it looks like I have a normal size phone for normal people. I don't have a big phone, so I feel like, is it going to be hard to see? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
I would say probably not, just based on how much Hearthstone and Magic Arena I've played on my phone before, and those work fine. And I'm not I'm not a sicko in this way. If it would have been, dog shit or too small or whatever, I'd been all right, no, this is stupid. I'll just play it on my iPad or on my computer, and I won't even bother. But those are done very well, I think, to the smaller screen. And I would assume Balatro, which has less going on than those games, would be able to pull it off too. but I haven't seen it, so I'm not 100%. But yeah, I would hope it's solid.
I'd say this Black Myth would probably be a bottom 5 of 10 for me at this point.
I think maybe. I'm getting my 10 together right now so I can better assess what I think would be top half, bottom half. But
I understand. I'm kind of just going at this about how I feel about things, like I don't feel that strongly about some these are good games that I'm not like, crazy about.
Yeah. I just can't remember what's actually like things I've played and that are this year, and kind of trying to refresh myself.
What's the worst game you played this year so far?
Worst game. Ooh.
I said that because I'm scrolling through my Steam list and I came across Stormgate again.
I don't know what that is.
It's that fucking RTS from the ex-Blizzard folks. I don't know. I mean, it is early access. It's not fair to dunk on that game, but I had so little fun that I can't even imagine how they did that.
No, I played Jusant, but that was a 2023 game.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure.
Did anybody play Rise of the Ronin?
No. I think
it was a PS5 exclusive.
Oh, really? No, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it is, but there is a demo on the PS5 store. I've debated trying a million times, but I just don't care.
That's weird. Really? I heard people like that game.
Yeah. I've heard that for many things.
Yeah, it's not on PC yet. For some reason I thought that was one of them Sony games that does also come to PC, and it's not like it's first party either. It's isn't it Bandai Namco?
It's the same people. It's Team Ninja, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Wow, Nightmare Card is on this list. That's fucking hilarious.
It's like Team Ninja's first attempt at like a extremely Souls-like game, right?
I don't even think it's Souls-like at all. I think it's literally just they brought Neo Combat into more of an like open world RPG kind of thing. It was like they tried to do a Ghost of Tsushima, but a little bit more, mechanics, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to try it. I'm making that commitment here. I'm going to try Rise of the Ronin. I'm going to be the guy on this show who plays Rise of the Ronin.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard really good things about it. Bottom 5 of 10. Oh, fuck. Actually, a game that I played that sucked this year.
Yeah.
Hellblade 2.
Yeah, I should have known you would bring that up.
That was easily.
I think you were just disappointed. It wasn't that it was bad. You wanted more.
That is an extremely disappointing game. But even in terms of just when you play that game, you're basically holding W, for the vast majority of the time. There's not all that much interaction, even in terms of like if you compare it to the first game. Comparably to the first game, the puzzles are way fucking worse, way fucking easier. Like it just became like a spectacle game. I don't know what happened during development that caused it to be this way, but it's not what the first game was.
I'm about to make a list of games that I need to remember to play, actually, because I just came across Stellar Blade again.
Did you see that Nier?
Yeah, people are excited about that. I really don't care at all, but
I just thought it was funny because of like the comparisons kind of on release, and then Yoko Taro being like, yeah, it's literally Nier but better, and I'm like, I don't know about that, buddy.
Well, my favorite thing about Yoko Taro, like he's famous for saying things like, why did you do this crossover? And he's like, because I love money or something. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. Like we will literally let anyone who wants to use Tubi use her, which of course he uses that phrasing. Pretty interesting. It's just cosmetic stuff, right? It's not like new gameplay for that Nier crossover. Is that right? Or
that's my understanding. I haven't looked heavily into it.
Yeah, I mean, Gooners do love Nier, so they're bound to be fans of Nier and Stellar Blade.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Give it to me.
Let me just rearrange these a little bit. We'll get it.
I can't believe Princess Peach Showtime came out this year.
So true. Okay. Yeah. Tekken 8, Balatro, Zinless Zone 0. This is in no particular order, just the bottom 5. Wukong and Unicorn.
Okay. That's pretty good. I think that's a good list.
Wait, not Unicorn. Sorry. Kunitsugami.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. That'd be like 5 for me. Like that might even be higher for me, actually.
I don't know. I'd have to actually make my list to see, but yeah.
Kunitsugami
definitely
floats
in the middle. Well, don't we have to wait until?
No, I do not want to know your top 5, dude. Come on.
We have to wait.
Keep that shit to yourself.
I feel like it's pretty obvious. I don't even know if it's a secret. So.
Crow Country is his game of the year.
I wouldn't be able to. Fuck! I need to play Crow. Thank you. Dude, that's the thing too. Is like you say this, like you're like, oh, give me your bottom 5, and it's like, oh, well, we haven't like just in terms of like the games that we play are usually like top like games anyway. The ones that we generally pick. But like the games that I really, really, really want to play are all like fucking indie games this year, and I keep forgetting that. Like, there's so many good indie games that have come out this year that like I feel like the AAAs just kind of need to stand aside. Like I need to get to those fucking games because holy shit. But yeah, Crow Country, need to put that down.
Because we don't do like it's not like we do a top 5 anyway. Y'all won't know necessarily what I'm going to pick for certain things other than game of the year, which I think is going to be obvious anyway. And honestly, y'all might not know between 2 of the things I could mention here.
We do a top 3, but you're right. We do not do a top 5. I just wanted to get our brain juices going. I didn't want to get like, too into the weeds on this stuff. I've just been thinking about what I'm enjoying and then what I kind of want to get back to finish up for gaming stuff. 16. Rebirth 16 maybe. I mean, obviously that was last year, but I guess because it came to PC, you could theoretically make a case, but I don't know.
I was just gonna put it as my game of last year.
Yeah,
game of the year last year.
Yeah, I kind of figured you would do that.
Did you see
multiplayer game of the year? Probably Concord. I'm thinking. Sorry, what?
Undoubtedly, yeah.
Can we? Is that one that we can just strike off as like disappointment of the year? Like nobody gets to use that one.
Yeah, because none of us even played it, so we definitely can't use it.
Clearly, nobody played it.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Maybe we should start picking our favorite like controversy of the year.
Yeah, we could do that. Switch it out. Disappointment of the year is always, well, I was going to say it's always obvious.
No, I like having a disappointment.
Oh, you want to add controversy of the year and you want to make it Concord? Is that your... I think I want to make controversy of the year the PS5
controversial things, right?
What's that?
There could be much more controversial things.
That's true. The PS5 Pro, for instance. Exactly. More controversial. Still available from what I can tell.
I believe
one game that's going to be coming out this year that I think it'll be a sleeper hit is Slitterhead.
Is that really this year?
That's this year, yeah. It comes out in November.
You think it'll be a sleeper hit? Well, I
think it's going to be like a cult classic. I'm feeling it in my bones.
I saw some gameplay of it and thought it looked really bad.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
That's like that's how Silent Hill was.
I mean, fair. I don't know.
Motherfuckers will be like, I love Silent Hill, and then they'll look at Slitterhead and they'll be like, wow, look at this garbage.
This looks like shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, but Slitterhead, it doesn't look like it's trying to really be a Silent Hill game. So
no, it's definitely attempting to do its own thing. I don't know what that thing is, but it's got my attention. So I'm pretty excited to just try it.
Well, since you're talking about it, let's just run through the last quarter. This is quarter 4 is about to start. Quarter 4 of the year, I guess, not necessarily fiscal, but here's what we got coming up in October. You holler if there's something that you want to talk about, but I'm just going to go through the stuff that I think is relevant. Mech Warrior 5 Clans, anybody?
No.
All right, I'm going to play that. Until Dawn remake.
Nope.
Sorry, I guess I should say dates. Mech Warrior 5 Clans is on the 3rd, so that's this week. Upcoming week at time of recording. Until Dawn remake is also this week on the 4th. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred, the big expansion. I think it adds 1 or 2 new classes, right?
At least one. I don't know what they are.
No one's chomping at the bit to jump back into Diablo 4.
I did recently in the second to last season, and dude, that shit fucking slaps. They're already getting it into a pretty good spot, much faster than Diablo 3 did.
Nice.
So
I think the DLC looks fine. I've thought about it. If there was not other stuff available, I think I would be more interested. But there's just so much to consume right now.
Yeah.
But it looks fun. I like the way the new character looks fun. I don't know. What else can you ask for? A new character that looks not dog shit.
Fair.
I'm sure the rest is just more Diablo,
I'll definitely be getting it at some point in the future.
The same day, Silent Hill 2 remake.
Woo!
Which, by the way, they're calling it Silent Hill 2. Remake is not actually in the title, so pretty bold choice, I would say.
That's a lot of confidence. I like that.
So this is not a new, a new idea. It's literally a remake of. Okay,
it's the same game.
From what I can tell, unless they're hiding something really well from everyone, this is the same exact game.
Okay. They even have all the cutscenes and stuff that they've showed off so far are beat for beat the exact same.
Like same shot composition and everything.
Just like remake in the kind of older sense of the word, where it's like everything up-resed and newer textures, or like they've made it again from scratch, beat
from
for
scratch.
Beat.
Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
So new engine, new all of it.
Right.
It's not a remaster.
Looks like a new game, but they're going for like a beat for beat remake. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly right.
Sick. It'd be cool if they do the FF7 remake thing and pull some crazy shenanigans on people that they don't expect. But we'll see.
We're going to talk about this in a little bit, so I don't want to linger on it. But Metaphor ReFantazio comes out on the 11th of October.
You know what else comes out on that day?
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Yeah. Okay. Am I a sicko for wanting that pretty bad?
Yeah. Yes.
I think it looks pretty fun. I liked Budokai games a lot.
I did too.
Apparently,
it looks like a Budokai game full of content.
On the 17th, they're releasing Age of Empires Mobile. I've never even heard of this.
Didn't a new one just come out recently? Semi recently?
They did a remake of Age of Mythology recently, and Age of Empires 4 came out about 2 years ago. So they've been doing pretty well. Those games are actually doing well, which I like.
I was thinking of Age of Mythology. I didn't realize it was a remake.
Yep.
But
remake.
Yeah, that's cool.
New Super Mario Party on the 17th.
I'm really excited about that. I don't know. I don't know how much y'all give a fuck about Mario Party, but this one looks like the first one where they're taking like really interesting, steps away from the traditional. Like it looks like they're doing interesting new things and not just like the board game again or some really annoying motion controls being the gimmick. Like it's like, I don't know. It looks cool. I'm excited.
I mean, I think Mario Party could be really fun as like a party game.
Yeah, it's the thing. I like having a new, fresh party game for when people are here and want to do something. Yeah,
but I think it is a bad video game.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah, and the like, I mean, it's like the monopoly of like, it's on, it's you can't take it seriously. It is all up in the air.
I would definitely call Monopoly a bad board game.
Exactly. Right. Yes. Yes. But people still enjoy it for some reason.
Yeah, I
don't know if it's just because of the fact that they're playing with their friends or what, but I think Mario Party is like in a similar category. I guess the mini games are fun, but the board game aspect itself is like basically Monopoly. It's totally out of your control.
Yeah, I would definitely play if Mario Party was in front of me, I would play it 100%. I'm just not like at the moment. It's just like, okay, that's cool. There's another Mario Party coming out. That's nice.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
If it ever comes into contact with me somehow, I'll be like, yeah, I'm down to play it.
Yeah.
Okay, skipping ahead here a little bit. I didn't know that this was even a thing, but on October 23rd, Rivals of Aether 2 is coming out.
I had no idea that was a thing. Isn't that the 2D beat 'em up kind of like Smash game?
Yeah, it was like the very first like
what is this called? Sorry?
Rivals of Aether.
Rivals of Aether or Ether. Yeah, it was like a Smash alternative for the diehard weirdos. I don't know.
This looks like Brawlhalla.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it came out before Brawlhalla.
I think so as well, yeah. Apparently it came out in 2017. I don't know when Brawlhalla came out, but...
Okay, Brawlhalla is older than that. I'm almost positive.
Really? Yeah, I assume you're looking it up, so I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah.
2014 is Brawlhalla.
Okay, nice.
Based.
That's crazy. They're both bad anyway. But here's the deal that makes this really interesting. Rivals of Aether 2, I don't know if this was the case for the first one or not, but apparently Ludwig, like the streamer, is involved in publishing it.
I can believe that. He's like really big on expanding the Smash community and doing community events and stuff like that. Yeah, he's like huge.
I didn't know he played Smash.
Yeah.
Weird.
The dead game. He should give up.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 remake on the 24th. So there you go, guys. If you want to play...
Isn't that the one that's like from the SNES days or something? Right?
It's from the PlayStation 2 days. I think I played one of these games just because... This particular one, number 8, is from the PlayStation 2. Yeah, I remember seeing this cover all the time at GameStop when I was a kid, and it was on sale for like $5 one day, and I got it because I recognized the characters from Dynasty Warriors. And then when I started playing it, I was like, oh, fuck, this game is not Dynasty Warriors. This is like extremely different. I'm confused and I don't like it. So
that would be crazy.
Isn't there a new Dynasty game coming out?
There is. Yeah, they
just
showed
announced it.
Yeah.
And it's not a remake of something this time. It's or a re-release, I should say. It's an actual new game by them.
Come on, man. How new can it be? I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. They're all, even if they don't call them remakes, they're remakes. It's the same. It's the same shit.
No, I hear you. I would just like to see one like
I want a modern Dynasty.
It doesn't look like a PS3 game. I would just like to see one that looks really fucking nice and runs at a smooth frame rate.
I'm sorry to tell you, brother, but it's fucking Koei Tecmo. You're getting something that looks like a late stage PS3, early PS4 game.
But eventually, they'll have to ascend to at least PS4, right?
Yeah. When the PS6 is out, you'll be getting PS4 games.
Come on. We're getting there. PS5 Pro is like, it's fair. Powerful.
That's true. You're right. October 25th, Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Hell yeah, dude.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but so same day, East X Nordics comes out.
Based.
That is the first time that this will be available in the US, right? This was it was in Japan already. I
have no clue.
Is that correct?
Idea.
Okay. If this is the game
it that closely.
If this is the game that I'm thinking of, it is the game that I'm thinking of. This game looks fucking cool. There's like a pirate portion where you like drive a boat around and there's like ship combat. Also, I really want to highlight here just Japanese naming conventions of non, Asian people. The main guy's name is Adol Kristen. And the main girl's name is Karya Balta.
They're going to change that for the English release.
There's no way.
I bet you.
This guy's name is Grinberg.
All of the Japanese people, all the Japanese/Chinese people on the Steam reviews are saying that this game is horribly optimized for PC.
God damn it.
Heads up.
God damn it. When are they going to release computers in Japan so they can figure out how this shit works?
Well, don't they have... the weird part is, shouldn't they have like 10 million of them in their little PC cafes? Isn't that where they all go?
I think mobile... well, first of all, the Switch is like running away with the Japanese gaming market from what I understand. But other than that, I think most of the market is mobile games at this point in Asia. Like, they definitely have people who buy consoles, obviously, but I think it's not like the majority of people playing video games there anymore. And PCs were never like they're a thing, but it's like, for whatever reason, that's just not how people want to consume their gaming time is via personal computer there. So
it's like
when they're doing PC ports, I feel like they're mostly doing it for us. Like the three of us specifically. The two of us. Crossley, he's on his own over there on PlayStation Island.
Yep.
If you were lost on PlayStation Island, which PlayStation character would you kill and eat to survive?
Me?
Yeah.
Fat Princess?
Astro Bot.
Fat Princess is a person, so that's cannibalism. And Astro Bot is a fucking robot, so good luck with digestion, you fucking idiot.
Well, then who do you want me to pick?
Crash Bandicoot, obviously. He's a fucking animal.
Fuck.
Patapon, dude. It's like eating marshmallows.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Or wait, no, not Patapon. What am I thinking of? Is it Patapon?
Isn't that Loco Roco?
Loco Roco. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it. I'm a fucking idiot.
I stand by my decision.
Yeah, fat people aren't human.
I can't believe I laughed at that. October 31st, Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
Based.
Pretty excited.
I have exactly 32 days to play through Inquisition.
Which means you really have about 31 days, and then on that 32nd day, you can just watch it on YouTube.
God damn it, that's true.
I think I've made the decision that I'm going to be doing 16, then doing all the MGS games so I can get ready for the remake. So I want to do those before Veilguard comes out too.
I thought, the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake comes out in like a year.
Is it 2025? I thought it was 2024.
No, it's for sure 2025.
Oh, okay. So I got plenty of time. Okay.
Yeah, don't even
I thought it
bother
was-
with that shit, dude.
I for real thought it was 2024. All right.
I don't even think they given it like a specific date yet.
I might have just like incepted that shit into my brain because everyone's just been going
I don't know
crazy
why I
over it.
kind of thought it was this year too,
Really?
honestly, but I
hold
wasn't
on.
like
It says
following it
2024.
or
Bro, it is October and they haven't even given it a date. It is not coming out this year. Or if it is, it's gonna be December 30th.
Another $5 bet.
Yeah, by the way, I'm looking to collect.
What does it
yeah.
say? It says November 17th, 2024, rumored. So I have no clue. I don't know.
Oh, that would be exactly 20 years after Metal Gear Solid 3 Original's release date. That would be really smart.
You think they're just going to drop that? Actually, it's a remake, so it is possible they could just drop that date like, a month prior, right?
Yeah, that is really smart, actually. If they did November 17th, 2024, it's exactly 20 years to the day.
It's possible.
That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. They should do it. They should do that. But also, do not, brother, you don't need to play all the Metal Gear Solid. The chronologically...
Coming from Mr. Yakuza?
But I want to.
You've played them all before?
I've never played 1, played 2, and 3 whenever I was really little.
Okay. Chronologically, 3 is first.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess you could play 1, 2, and 3, but I'm shocked that you never played 1. I could literally, the rest of this podcast could be me talking you through everything that happens in 1, 2, getting you ready for 3. Like, I know them by heart. I don't even need to think about them. They're like imprinted onto my brain.
But it's been so long.
Okay, so Shadow of Moses Island is in the Alaskan archipelago. Yeah, that would be cool, actually, if that does happen. I'd be excited to play that in November. That would actually be pretty neat. Watch it. It's going to be terribly optimized on PC. GG.
PS5.
Horizon Zero Dawn remastered on October 31st.
Unnecessary, but
it's a free upgrade for $10 if you own the original
on PC or PS5.
Free upgrade
right?
for $10.
Yeah.
That's a sentence.
What I'm saying is it looks like it should be a free upgrade, but you get to pay $10 for it.
You get to give them your money.
You get to give Guerrilla Games
or you $10. Get to not give them money and the game still looks insanely good.
Yeah, which they're wasting their time. They could have made an entire Killzone trilogy remaster in the same span of time that it took them to do this. Like, make Killzone 1, 2, and 3 remastered. Well, why haven't you done that already? Killzone 1, that game only sucks because, well, actually, there's a couple reasons why it sucks. The controls being probably high on the list, but it also runs at 12 frames per second on the PS2. Fucking bring that game up to date on the PS5. Like, do it. It's begging for it. Do a full remake of Killzone 1 even. Fuck it. I don't care. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, to add on to like the controls do suck. But they also added in there's a built-in input lag in that game.
Yeah, so they wanted it to feel heavy. That was like that was what they said when that game was coming out. Which
it's
I mean,
like the dumbest shit in the world because it killed the multiplayer so fucking hard.
I mean, it being on the PS2 killed the multiplayer so fucking hard. I mean, the PS2 was not. They tried hard to make it an online viable platform, but the only game anybody played online on the PS2 was like fucking SOCOM Navy SEALs, which. Where's my SOCOM Navy SEAL remaster?
Battlefront 2.
That's true.
And
that is true.
Monster Hunter. Go fuck yourself.
Monster Hunter had online back then? Are you sure?
Yeah, I was thinking of Killzone 3. I was thinking Killzone 3 for the PS3.
Oh, well. That's weird.
Free online.
It's weird that you're thinking that.
So,
Killzone 2 had really good online.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. It only I only stopped playing it because the PS3 sucked.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I don't even think I had a headset.
Engage with in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Playing online games on PS3 was a painful.
But me
experience.
and Merced did it a lot. Merced, I don't know if you remember this. When we started our PS3 arc, because we were really late to the game. You know, we fucked around with Killzone 2 and a few other stuff, and then we eventually, it was on like sale or something. We got Modern Warfare 2 on PS3, even though we had already played, countless hours on 360 and stuff like that. And we were just like, yeah, let's just fuck around. And because it was like fresh accounts, we were basically smurfing. Nice. And we were just like literally wrecking shop in every single lobby we played for like, I don't know, until we got bored of it, I guess. But
yeah, I remember this.
Good times.
So long ago.
November. We got Mario and Luigi Brothership for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I think that game's probably going to be good.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's probably going to be good. I don't know that
I'm
I'll
really
play
excited for that.
but I do think it's going to be good.
Did you guys play the new Paper Mario game? The remake of the Paper Mario game? Oh.
I haven't yet. I've wanted to. I think I have it installed on my PC, actually.
Did we all play that originally when it came out?
No, I've never played a Paper Mario game. I've never played one.
Okay. If I did, I don't remember it. So.
I think
I've played all the Mario and Luigi games. I've played all of those, which from my understanding, they're very similar to the Paper Mario gameplay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, similar-ish, yeah, for sure. But especially, I mean, this one in particular, Thousand Year Door, I feel like was where they really nailed down that format.
Okay.
There was a Paper Mario before this one, I think, right?
Yeah, they made one that was new to the Switch, and that game sucked. I did play that one. That one is not a good game.
I don't even remember if I played it or not. I probably did. November 8th,
I don't remember you playing it.
Slitterhead.
Hell yeah.
What's that again? What is that game?
Slitterhead is from the original. It's Bokeh Game Studio. It's their first. I think it's their first game, right? Yeah, it is. And it's founded by Keiichiro Toyama, who is known as the creator of Silent Hill, Siren, and Gravity Rush.
Based.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. So he does generally make good games, but Slitterhead, for some reason, just looks like it's just not shaping up. I don't know. November 14th, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, Lego Horizon Adventures. November 15th, Funko Fusion. So if there was ever a time for the rapture to occur, probably on November 15th, coinciding with the release date of Funko Fusion would be a good time. November 19th, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I'm actually extremely excited for that. That looks really fun.
I feel like I asked this before, but is it going to have like more parts of the world to explore, or just more things to fly in, or both?
It's a graphics update, so new, updated engine.
Yeah, better, all of that.
New game modes, like mission types and things like that. Like that was what really got me in the trailer. Was they were like, you could be a rescue helicopter guy and go and rescue people and shit like that. Like it seems pretty cool. You could fly the, how they have those like firefighting planes that fly and drop the shit on the fires. You could do that if you want. Whereas, like, I feel like Flight Simulator currently is really just a fly from point A to point B kind of game. They're trying to add a little bit more variety, which is cool. So I think that's smart. This doesn't seem right to me, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. November 20th, Stalker 2.
Yeah, right.
I thought they delayed it to January for some reason.
Like you would know?
I feel like I would know.
I have it written down as September 5th, but
that was the original release, and then they pushed it. So apparently it is November 20th. I don't know. Fair enough. I'll fucking play it.
Oh,
Game of the year is
yesterday.
Already situated.
Assassin's Creed got pushed.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed no longer in November. Was
it's kind of sad now. I'm not going to play it. Huh?
Was it November or October originally?
I think it was either the end of October or the beginning of November.
It was November.
Okay. Yeah, no longer in November. I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
I mean, realistically, what are they going to do in that time frame?
I mean, whatever they need to. That's fine. It's just, but I just now it had the potential to be played at the end of the year. Sure. I don't have too many things I'm watching at the very end, and now when it's coming out, there's a lot of things I want to play for sure. And one big one is Monster Hunter, and there's just no shot I ever play this in the foreseeable future now. It'll be one day when it's on sale or on Sony Game Pass or something. I'll be like, all right, bet.
I'll probably give it a shot on Ubisoft Game Pass.
That's possible, but it would be, again, like way down the line.
9 Souls, November 26th. It's a 2D action game inspired by Sekiro. It is developed by Red Candle Games, most famously known as that Taiwanese game development studio that released Detention, the 2D horror game that looks really scary. And then Devotion, which I did play through, which was more of a walking sim horror game. That was really good. Devotion, they became very famous. You guys probably remember this because Chinese publishers demanded that they pull the game because it had a reference to Xi Jinping in it as being a Winnie the Pooh figure. Both Detention and Devotion are games that people really like, and this is their first time making a non-horror game. I'm really interested to see what this is like. They cite Hollow Knight as an inspiration as well. So
was Devotion the one that people kept trying to like associate with Kojima as well?
No,
if I recall correctly.
That's a bad game. No, you're talking about the game that never actually came out is the one that they were doing that for. There was a game that, what was that fucking thing called? It was developed by like a studio called like Blue Whale or something, and it was like nobody knew any details about the game, and people kept saying, "Oh, it's like a reference to whatever, blah blah." It's
right,
stupid.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
That's it for November, really. Now that they pushed, which is still kind of a lot, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, December 9th, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Wow.
I find myself like less and less excited about that as time goes on.
I kind of hope it has like a marketing push to maybe get me interested closer to release or something. I'll be like, oh yeah, this does look good.
Here's the deal with that game that I think is going to be the case. One, it's going to be less of a shooter than people would like. I think is really what's going to happen. It's going to be like a first person action adventure. Like maybe there will be a decent amount of melee combat. Two, I really think that there's nothing marketing wise that could sell you on that game, because gameplay is like 50% of the puzzle there. Really, what they've already sold me on is that they've nailed the look and feel of Indiana Jones, like in terms of like tone and things like that. Yeah. And they showed the cutscene where they proved that they have the chops to basically make an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
I think the gameplay is going to be fine enough to carry me through this one. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is going to be fine.
I remember being really interested when they had the thing where they showed it off the most. And, that's what I mean by like a big marketing push. I just kind of want to be remembered that it exists and that I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if it just kind of comes out and it exists, I'll just kind of be like, yeah. Is it on Game Pass? I can't remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably end up playing it no matter what, honestly.
Agreed. I actually skipped one that I think people are interested in, but I'm not interested in personally. Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I'll play
Is
the
that
fuck out of that.
That's like the hero.
is that the
one.
Overwatch clone? Is that okay?
Yeah, basically.
Is that free?
No, I don't think so. Actually,
Rivals, yeah, it'll be free.
it probably
Okay.
will be. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that's one of those ones I'll I'll probably try if the group is trying it. I'm not, I'm not like super. I don't know if I'll care about it really. We'll
Cool.
see.
Just curious. I don't think I give a shit about it at all, honestly.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered November 10th.
Based.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it, but fuck yeah, dude, it deserves to exist.
So I've played, I think, Soul Reaver 1. I really don't remember. When I was a kid, I had one of them.
I think I played 2, but I also can't remember.
Might have played 2 as well. I don't remember. I liked it. I wasn't crazy. I'm not one of those people who's been like, they really need to remake Legacy of Kain. Like it never.
No, I
that.
agree. It's one of those things where it's like I remember it was like really special to me as a child, and I am like a big stan for video game preservation. And this is like, anytime I see one of those things that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this when I was literally a fucking child, and I haven't seen it since. And finally, like, not that I think anyone should go out and buy it. Honestly, I just, want it to be preserved. Really, is all I care about.
That's it. That's everything. Let's talk about Metaphor ReFantazio. Crossy, did you play it?
I started the demo this morning, and I didn't get to any gameplay, so I guess I still don't really have an opinion, but I definitely don't hate how it looks or anything like that. There was a little bit of a discourse about that in
it looks ugly.
The Discord chat. I disagree. I don't know. I don't feel that way at all.
I think
I was waiting for the ugly to hit me in the face, and I think it looks really fucking cool.
It's just a very unclean image. It's like cell shaded kinda, but I mean not even kinda. It is cell shaded, but there's like a fuzziness to it that I can't really wrap my head around in a way that like if go back and look at Persona 5, that game is so clean looking. I liked the way that game looked. It just looked really crisp. Why is this so fuzzy? I don't really understand. They're going for like something much more grand. And by the way, I mean, I'm saying ugly, I'm being a bit harsh. It doesn't keep me from enjoying the game, but it's something that like I feel like they have so fucking nailed all of the 2D art, all of the like menus, all of the character portraits, all of the like archetype portraits, every single thing that isn't like the cityscape or the environment art looks really good. Actually, I'll take that back.
I think it all looks good. Honestly,
I don't really care for the main character's design either.
I don't like the main character. I'm assuming blue hair, 2-eye color is his main character. I don't like how they look either.
He looks stupid as fuck, like unironically.
Yes, he's one of the least, if not the least, uninteresting like main character from them for a game I've played by them ever. Like I don't like how they act. I don't like how they look. I don't know. I hope honestly that it kind of that it's intentional and that they're gonna play with that and kind of. I hope by the end, if this is something I actually see through and want to play through a lot of it, I hope by the end that I'm like, I fucking love this character. You know what I mean? Like I hope they get me there somehow because this is like a lame ass protag just off the rip. And the way they're acting, I feel like it has to be intentional because all I've seen so far is like, the fucking bandits pull us over, take our money and like slash the guy. And then the chick wants to be a badass and act cool and fucking kill them. I'm like, I don't know why you waited for someone to die before you decided to take action, red-haired lady. And the main character is just like being a bitch and gets kicked off the cliff and doesn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, like, anyway, I don't know. I don't know anything else more than that. But just so far, I'm like, okay, in what world would I ever want to be this person? Like, this person's fucking lame. So I don't know. I think it's by design, and maybe hopefully they'll get me there. But anyway, going back to just how everything looks, I think it's fine. I don't know. I am playing on Xbox on my TV. I don't know if they're I don't know what, what any differences are there, but it looks all good to me. I don't know.
I'm playing on the PlayStation 5. I think Merced is playing on the PC, so we've got all three platforms represented.
I think it looks good. I agree that it looks ugly, but I think it looks incredibly stylish. I just think that that's like Atlas's thing is they get me over just on like how unique everything is. I mean, because of how unique it looks, it feels unique as well. So like my ability to overlook the really shitty fucking textures, really fucking low polygon models, all that kind of stuff. Like it looks like, I mean, if we're being real, it looks like a fucking PS2 game. But the style is so fucking unique that I can forgive it for that. So
it's PS2 is harsh, but I get what you're driving at. I mean,
PS3.
Yeah, late stage PS3, Last of Us level PS3, I would say.
Persona 5.
I mean, this is going to be kind of weird. I think Persona 5 looks better than this game. Maybe
I think that just comes down to like personal preference.
I think even like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just misremembering. I thought Persona 5 was a cleaner image. Like technically it looked better.
I mean, it probably is. Probably is a cleaner image.
I don't know.
It seems like they're going for more visual. I don't even want to call it clutter. But they're definitely trying to,
for sure.
They're attempting to make it look grittier.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's what they're attempting to do is like trying to provoke this feeling like we are in a grittier, more real world this time around.
Are you guys playing it in English or Japanese?
Japanese.
English.
How is the English VO?
I picked it just to try it out, and it's fine so far. I like it so far. I may shift, but it's nice to be able to like look away and still hear what they're saying for like the text box moments where they're just saying everything and I can kind of do something and still hear it. But it's well voice acted, so I'm not upset.
I like the Japanese voice acting so far, but I'm interested in hearing what the English sounds like, so I may switch just to see. For what it's worth, I thought Persona 5's English voice acting and 4's was really good. So
yeah. And 3 Reload also.
I played that one in Japanese for some reason. I don't know why. I think I tried 3 Reload and I really didn't like someone. There was like someone in particular who bugged me. I don't know who, but so you haven't really gotten to the gameplay yet.
No, unfortunately not. There's a lot of exposition happening.
For sure. It's still a while. It's a while.
That's what Merced told me too, and I was like, okay, great. I'm gonna go take a shit.
Which I think was the same for Persona 5, from what I remember. Though when you do finally start actually playing the game, it's less annoying than Persona 5 was. I felt like Persona 5 was a little too handholdy. They let you off the leash a little bit more when the game really gets going in this. I think this is, in terms of combat, the best designed combat system they've done, period. For either a Shin Megami Tensei or a Persona game.
Would you say in terms of like one or the other, is it leaning more towards Tensei or Persona?
To me, it completely overlaps the two.
Okay.
In interesting ways. Like they do obviously the standard stuff of like, you know, kind of the Persona style elemental weaknesses, things like that. There are knockdowns like in Persona, but there's not like an all-in mechanic or anything like that, at least that I can tell right now. What they're really leaning on is maximizing the number of turns that you have. So like the way it works is once you've gotten all the mechanics, which happens pretty late in the demo. The demo is about 5 hours long, and I would say around hour 2.5, maybe 3 is when you've unlocked all the mechanics. So, what they're really driving towards is you have a turn counter. So basically, on a basic level, each character gets a turn, right? So like you have the enemy side and your side. Everyone on both sides gets to attack generally once. Although for some reason I feel like enemies will get to attack twice more often than you do, which is fair because, I mean, whatever. They're trying to increase the difficulty and stuff like that. But everyone in your party gets to attack once. If you exploit a weakness or get a critical hit, it only uses half of that character's turn. So they'll get to go more than likely again. It'll cycle through everyone and they'll get to go again. So if you have 3 characters and all 3 hit weaknesses, you've just gotten 6 turns actually instead of 3, that kind of thing. That's usually not going to happen unless you're really lucky, because if it's one enemy, for instance, like a boss who's weak to one thing, if you've built up your classes in a way that makes sense, you're probably not all going to have the same element, that kind of thing. But they're really making it to where you can be totally freeform with class structure and party structure. Like, you'll have 3 people in your party, and there's, let's just say at the point in the game that I'm at, there's 6 classes available. Any of them can be any of the 6 classes. You could have all 3 fucking big warrior guys if you want. Like, they're leaning into the personal kind of customization a lot more. There's skills that if you have a character who's played multiple classes before, they can inherit skills from other classes that they've played. If you have, let's say you have someone who's a mage and someone who's a healer, they'll have team up skills where there's like overlap, and the team up skills are completely unique. So like, it'll be like, oh, the healer, if there's a mage in the party, the healer always has this one team up skill available that's like, you know, super fancy and takes more mana but does more damage or does more healing or whatever. The number of combinations that you could possibly have and the number of things, like, it seems like it's going to be really cool. And all classes have at least 2 upgrade classes, like advanced classes that they could pick between. I think it's going to be really awesome, actually. I'm like, if you think back to like earlier this year, I was playing Persona 3, and if you think back to me talking about playing Persona 5, I think I played through all of Persona 5 again, like a couple years ago or last year, I don't remember. Whenever Royal came out. If you think back to like those time periods, my biggest complaint about these games is always the gameplay. Like, I'm so invested in the story, I'm so invested in the characters, and then the gameplay is basically something that I listen to a podcast and zone out during. They're trying to take that away from me, which is fair. I understand, but they really want you engaged. Like, they're trying to give you enough mechanics that you're really thinking about it. I was having a shitload of fun playing through the dungeons in the demo. I mean, honestly. Merced, did you play any more after what we talked about?
No, because I went right back to Final Fantasy 16. I was just like, I really should just be playing 16. But I completely agree with everything that you've said so far. And the mechanic where you're able to, like, if something is like weak enough, you can literally just hack and slash melee combat it. You don't have to go into the turn-based environment. I think that is like genius.
I think it starts at, if it's one level below you, if you run into a mob in the world, you can literally just press square a few times and kill it instead of having to go into turn-based combat. They've expanded on the system in Persona 5 where if you hit someone in the back, you surround them and you get like extra turns, or their turn gets skipped or whatever. There's now kind of more to do with that. Like, there's basically a meter that each enemy has on them that if you mash square on them enough times and land enough hits before you get into turn-based mode, that will happen every time, no matter what, which is cool. They can also do the same thing to you, which happened to me with one particular enemy a bunch of times, which is really annoying, but also very funny. They've done a lot with, so they're trying to give you a little bit more of a modular kind of difficulty. There's 5, I think, difficulty modes. I'm playing on the normal, like the middle one. They've done a lot. So like, I don't want to give too much away, but immediately after where Merced is, this is why I asked if you played. Immediately after the room that you're in, there's like a small little dungeon leg, and then there's an optional boss. That the game tells you not to fight, but I was like, I want to know, like, is this going to be like an insta fail, or can I actually do this? And you can do it. You can kill it. Kill is, whatever. You could fight it, and you get like serious rewards for doing it, by the way, like a rare weapon and some others, like a bunch of money and some other stuff. So I feel like in Persona 5, that early in the game, they would have been like, they would not have allowed you. You know what I mean? Like, that game felt like very much like it was like holding your hand, like, okay, here's a puddle, jump over the puddle. It's like you're like a little toddler, like on your way to school, like,
yeah, that's how like all those games have always felt.
I mean,
basically.
Yes and no. Like 3 a little bit, but like they let you off the leash way earlier in 3, because that was still an example of a game where they had faith that the players weren't totally brain dead. 4 also a bit better. I think 5 was the one where people really got pissed off, because it's a long time before they let you start making your decisions. Like, I think of the meme where it's like, we should really go to bed. You know what I mean? Like Morgana in that game. Morgana, right? Yeah, Morgana in that game is like, hey,
it's really bad in 5.
I don't think we have time to watch TV right now. I think we should go to bed. Like
they don't let you do anything for the longest time. It's really annoying. You're just on rails.
So they're giving you a bit more freedom in the combat, which is good. The end of the demo, the very end, which is where I left off, is they give you basically 2 days as a free form, as an example of what that content is like the free form stuff, like choosing how to spend your days. It seems to function pretty much the same way, except with one thing that I think is the smartest change that they've made. If you're entering into an action that will cost you time, a little icon is next to it that indicates that time will progress. Which I think is I mean, I understand you might be thinking, okay, well, it was pretty obvious before, right?
Not always.
Not always. And those are the moments that are frustrating, I think, because if there's time limited stuff, or if you didn't know that this was going to be a thing, it can be really frustrating to lose a day. Or it could be the difference between you getting a particular social link and not, or, whatever. Like there are consequences. Yeah. So I do think it's really smart that they have very clearly telegraphed what will progress time.
Yeah.
The stats system returns, like, they're not the same stats, but kind of the same idea, right? It's like, intelligence, like studying makes you smarter, doing this makes you, it's not the same type of things. Like, it's not like, who gives a fuck in medieval times if
I get to go to school
if your test is good. No, from what I can tell, there is no school equivalent. You basically have days and nights. You can choose how to spend your days. You have more stats. How many stats did you have before? Was it 5 or 4?
I don't remember.
I want to say 4. You have more this time. I think it's 6. It's a lot. And obviously all of them have their own actions associated with them. You also have the social link stuff. So basically they give you days and nights. You get to choose how to spend both. if you do the dungeon at night, you won't be able to do anything. You'll only be able to, go to sleep. So, because your character's tired from dungeon fighting. So, I mean, it's the usual stuff, I think, but they've done it in a way that's pretty interesting. You can also skateboard around town on your sword. So it's a 10 out of 10.
Fuck, I didn't.
You cut out, Merced.
I didn't unlock that yet.
Yeah.
That's
it's
huge.
You've got a couple hours, honestly, or an hour and a half or so before you will. But
yeah, I wasn't hoping for like any large departure from the other Atlas games. So I mean, all these changes seem awesome to me.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel actually. Is when I first loaded this up, so like basically at the point where Crossley probably is at. Did you get to the recruitment center and do all that stuff, or?
I just went through the desert and got to the city.
Okay.
And I forget what I am about to do.
At that point in my head, I was like, I'm bored. But not like, it wasn't bad. I was just like, I get what they're doing. Like the beginning of that game feels like the beginning of every Atlas game. Yeah. And I was like, oh man. I mean, they're all good games. I like all of them. Some of them are my favorite games, One of them might be in a top 10 of all time, right? Like Persona 4 is an amazing game. 5 is an amazing game. So I was a little let down, but, only because I'm like, I've done this a few times already. I feel so strongly now that I think this will be truly something different for them. That I'm way more excited than I was before. So fingers crossed. Neat. I'm gonna buy it.
It's neat.
I'm buying it. I was hoping it was Game Pass, but it's not, so fair enough. So I am gonna buy it. And Atlas, sometimes they hit line drives, sometimes they hit home runs, but they do always hit. That is for sure.
That's probably the biggest. Would that be like the biggest game that's coming out for the rest of the year?
Well, it depends on if Delta actually comes out this year.
Yeah,
Solid. Plus, I mean, Black Ops, depending on who you are.
Did you see that Shadows of Doubt game also?
It's 1.0. Yeah, 1.0. I'm interested, but I don't. For some reason, I watched some coverage on that game, and it talked me out of it actually a little bit. So,
which game?
Shadows of Doubt, like the randomly generated detective simulator.
I think it's like voxel based, right? It's like a voxel based noir.
Very impressive, like scale. Like basically, the map isn't huge, but it's dense. So it's like a full, 3 blocks of a city or something with like high rises and everything. And you're a freelance detective, so like you'll get like a case that's randomly generated. All of the people are randomly generated, and then you have to like solve the case. It's kind of like an MSim. It seems neat, honestly, but I don't know. It's not like I would like to get to it this year, but if I don't, I'm not going to be like super sad about it. Like Crow Country to me is something I need to play before I play that.
Yeah.
Do you guys play anything you want to talk about? I've got one more that we could do at the end, but
I mean, really, the only thing I've been tearing through is Final Fantasy 16. That's the only thing that's like on my mind at the moment.
Yeah, so. We could do that. I mean, I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I think it's been too long for me to really engage super heavily, but I would like to hear what you're thinking.
I don't have like a whole lot. Not at the moment anyway, just because I feel like I'm still like at the beginning of the game, kind of. I'm like 18 hours, 20 hours in now, but yeah, I don't know. I think really all I can say is that I think like as a package as a whole, the game is fucking phenomenal. The combat's fucking phenomenal. Yeah. I think the way that they ended up doing all of the different icon abilities is really, really fucking cool. That way, it's like they managed to make the combat like engaging, where you are actively like participating in the combat constantly without feeling as though like I'm being led with like a carrot on a stick.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like I don't feel like I'm being tricked into enjoying the combat. It really feels like it's its own like beast that I get to play how I want. Especially with like the different upgrades and stuff that you can do. But that the combat in and of itself, the hack and slash combat, coupled with just how fucking phenomenal the world building is, the characters, the voice acting. I don't know. It's just as an entire package, I think it's fucking great. I haven't been like this enthralled or interested is the number one thing, is being interested in the people and the world and like what's going to happen. And just like, yeah, all the moving pieces and everything have me constantly legitimately thinking about the characters in the world and like what is going, like how all of this is going to culminate. So
yeah,
it's just good. It's just fucking good.
Story wise, it reminds me of older Final Fantasy games. Like it feels like there's a lot more weight and gravitas to, like they're leaning into like the political stuff. They're leaning into more high stakes in like a, you know, Game of Thrones or kind of, you know, serious like grim fantasy type stuff. More, not quite to a Game of Thrones level, of course, but like more than recent Final Fantasy games, right? Like I would say 13, I mean 14 is, you know, same director, so there's a bit of that in 14 actually, but 14's got a tone problem in my opinion. Some people like that, by the way. I think some people like that 14 is 50% silly and 50% one of the saddest things that you've ever played. 15, obviously road trip, kind of coming of age story tone. So this is more like, I would say like 12. I get 12 vibes.
Yeah, it's for sure closer to 12
playing it. But yeah, it's cool.
Especially in aesthetic. In aesthetic, it's definitely a lot closer to 12 as well. But I mean, don't like you do still get those moments, those like quirky, silly moments, and it's like, okay, well that's all right. I'm just glad that it's not like the like 50% of the game. Like I've never enjoyed that shit in anime. I've never enjoyed that shit in video games. I don't know if I'm just fucking boring or what, but like just give me the real nitty gritty story.
I hate when fucking like it works some of the time. You need that like comedic beat, regardless of, you know, every now and then to just sort of break apart whatever the fuck. But yeah, I hate when anime is like 50% silly, cuts to them being like chibi characters, like fucking like, I don't know, just like making really bad joke. Shit just fuck.
It's really nice to see that this game really holistically seems to take itself very seriously, and I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so, some people called that out as a complaint, but I'm kind of with you. I mean, I don't need every game to be that way, but I like that. You know, why not? We get a Final Fantasy game every few years. Let's make one completely serious. For the people who like shit that's anime, Rebirth just came out. Enjoy that as well. You know what I mean? Like it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, you know, you want a fan service beach scene that to goon to, by all means, we've got it for you over here. But yeah,
for sure. I agree.
I'm actually thinking really hard. I mean, is there a big titty lady in Final Fantasy 16? I don't even actually think there is.
None that have come across my path yet. Otherwise,
I guess was the Garuda lady a bit of a big titty lady?
No, Benedicta was just a normal,
regular titty lady. Okay.
Probably big titted lady for real people that exist in real life, but in terms of
okay, yeah. I mean,
in terms of video games, no.
It's kind of funny to say, but I mean, you know, most Final Fantasy games have at least one.
Dude, oh my god, what a tragedy too. Holy fuck. God damn it. She's easily Benedicta is just like,
I mean, she was quite evil from what I remember.
And that's okay. That's all right.
She was quite evil from what I recall.
I can fix her. I could have fixed her.
You played Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? You play Remake? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's right. You did, because we talked about it, and then you did fucking Crisis Core. Final
Don't do
Fantasy
that
VII, the
for anyone
blonde.
listening.
Who's the blonde evil lady in Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Oh yeah, she is much worse than Benedicta.
Yeah, but she's like
And much bigger
comically
titties.
fucking
Yeah,
evil.
like,
She's
she is.
evil.
mustache
She's like one
twirling.
mustache short.
Yeah.
She's
But
crazy,
yes,
bro.
no, but Benedicta is just kind of conniving more than anything.
And her character makes sense,
but
bro.
her character,
Even for dude, just the writing in that game is just good. I just think it's really
good.
fucking good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like I'll have a lot more to say once I finish it.
Yeah, I'd like to, and you know, watching, like, seeing it come out and people be hyped about it again, it made me want to go back. So I did boot it up the other day, and I had to patch it a bunch. And I went into the training mode to remember how the combat works and all that stuff. Story wise, I kind of remember most of everything. There's probably some details I've forgotten that I will. You know, there'll be like a callback 50 hours in to something that happened when I played the game a year and a half ago, and I'll be like, I don't care. But
yeah.
But I should finish it. But what's funny is, like, there's some story stuff that happens. Crossley and I were, and the three of us were saying this yesterday, but there's a momentum killer part of the way through. And then the thing that's funny is they do start to add in more characters that you're like, you didn't even need to be in this story. Do you know what I mean? Like, the first big portion, like big chunks of that early part of the game, everything feels very tightly written, like in a way that, like, every character needs to be there for the plot to make sense. Every character is written well enough that you're like, all right, fair enough. Obviously, the Clive stuff is kind of hit or miss, because, I mean, the main character of any Final Fantasy game is usually the hardest one to get right, unfortunately, because they have to go through development. Clive goes through development what feels like 9 different fucking times, and it's like the same shit every time. But the thing that's funny about, like later on, you're almost there, basically. You might even be coming up to this stuff, Merced. They just start introducing new characters, and you're like, bro, we are 20 hours into this game. You can stop. We could just wrap up what we've got. You don't need to keep introducing new characters who are, like, tertiary. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm an idiot.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
Like the tactician lady.
Vivian.
Huh?
I think you're talking about Vivian.
Sure.
The brown short chick?
Sure.
Is that what you're talking about?
She's got, like, purplish hair or something. Yeah. She stands in your base and looks at the map.
Yeah. It's Vivian.
Yeah, if you're talking about anyone that just hangs out at the base and fulfills their duty, I just strongly disagree. But, you know. I
mean, it's cool at the start. I think they just keep throwing people in, and then you're like, where? No one has even mentioned you. Where have you been this whole? I mean, obviously, you know, Sid's daughter.
Not everyone is a main character, bro. Like, we have other people that don't matter. That's okay.
I don't know.
There was that one point, I think I was talking to Crossley about this, was once you get to the new hideaway, I do love like that the smaller characters do end up mattering at least a little bit in terms of world building, because in the original hideaway there was a woman who basically all she did was she provided food for the people that were in the hideaway. So what she would do is she would go out, she would get fruit and stuff, and then she would plant the seeds and create trees out of the fruit.
I remember.
And try to essentially create a fruit that didn't have as much like bitterness. It was easier to eat. And she'd been doing this for like years. Hideaway gets fucking invaded. She ends up dying. One dude ends up taking like he saves the seeds from that tree and brings them to the new hideaway. And turns out that those seeds were the ones where she finally cultivated the bitterness out of the fruit. And so and he was like, could you please give these to the people in the hideaway? And so you do. And they're like, oh my God, she actually ended up like her life wasn't in vain. Of course, it's like dramatic as fuck. And like, oh, her life wasn't in vain. Oh, she like actually got the bitterness out of the fruit, blah, blah, like all this kind of stuff. And it's like that level of continuity and just, I don't know, even if it's small, it adds a lot to the world. And it adds a lot to the way that you feel about even just these smaller characters.
I think,
and it's like, and they make sure you have to interact with them. Like, not everybody is fucking Jill or fucking Sid or, you know, whoever the fuck. But all these people, they make you go out of your way to have to interact with them and let you know that they're there. And more than once usually. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
and even if it is only once, you'll always have the option to go interact with them again, probably for like a side thing. So it's like it's all there for some purpose, even if it's not the main purpose. And I think it is all just world building basically, and it's good.
I mean, I do agree with what you guys are saying. It's just funny that they keep doing it. They just keep bringing new characters in forever. Like they just keep adding them, which I think is the funny part, rather than developing like the medic lady. I mean, she's there the whole time. She does get a bit of development, but like let's spend more time with the people that we already have instead of keep introducing random new ones that get 12% of screen time or whatever. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me, but
yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, bringing up like the medic lady, I think all of the women in this fucking game are written really well, like surprisingly, incredibly well.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was like.
Jill is obviously the one you spend the most time with and is probably the best example, although I think she loses some momentum later on, but like she has a lot of good character development throughout that game, especially in the first half. I think Final Fantasy usually gets this wrong historically. I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I actually think most of them are written pretty well as well. Remake, kinda. I mean, it is kind of funny how tropey that stuff is in Remake. But I agree. Like in 16, they feel like normal people, which is interesting. They all have different personalities. They all have like very different goals, people they want to be, whether they're succeeding or failing. And across the board, I think all the characters are pretty well done. The historian guy is kind of generically old man, which I think is silly.
That guy.
Yeah, I do too.
I like him.
I think the blacksmith is pretty generic blacksmith, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually just did a quest with him where he had some like serious character development and he showed like a level of humanity that you don't generally get to see out of a character like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just everything about that game in terms of character interaction, writing.
I don't like Sid's daughter very much either. I really don't.
Really,
dude, Sid's daughter.
I don't.
I won't say anything. Yes, it's fine, but all I will say is I wish you could pick a love interest because I would have picked her.
Oh my god, dude, you're gonna meet. Sid's, I'm serious. Like you were probably 15 to 20 minutes away from meeting Sid's daughter. Like not even kidding. So,
wouldn't that be like my daughter now?
No,
it'll be it'll be like the woman in your life where you're like, damn, it's too bad I've invested all this time into Jill. If only something would happen to Jill and then I can move on to this other woman I like more.
Jesus Christ.
Holy fuck, dude. God damn.
Oh my god.
I think Crossley's got some issues he's got to work through.
Dude, it's not my fault they wrote Jill into my fucking character's life, dude. I would pick another woman. It's not my fault.
Yeah, I mean,
Jill's like a sister to me.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair.
To me, yes.
That's fair.
To Clive, obviously not. Maybe, I don't know.
So you think Tifa is like a sister to you as well?
If like realistically, it probably would be. Yeah,
it's the same character.
Yeah,
Tifa and
not personality wise. Yeah, not personality.
They play this a similar role for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I think Jill's like, I don't know, I vibe with Jill like a lot.
Yeah,
in terms of
Jill's fine. I like Jill.
Yeah.
She's smart, like smarter than Clive by a lot. Like she
comes off as really I agree.
Like oftentimes like Clive will be saying something.
I'm always
ridiculous.
like anytime, because I agree with what you guys are saying. So anytime we're like having a Jill interaction, like after she's like a part of the thing, I'm always like, how the fuck did you even get in that situation where you're like captured by the dudes and having to like fight us and then we beat your ass and save you or whatever the fuck I forget, but at the beginning of the game basically I'm just like, how the fuck did Jill get in this situation? She seems so capable in pretty much every single way, from power level to mental capacity.
They explain that though. They explained that essentially she was like entirely exploited based off of her like sisters, like the
other
they
women
killed all
that
of,
they were holding hostage.
They killed all of the men in Rosalith, and then they took all of the women to Ironblood, and they basically said, if you don't do what we want you to do, we're just gonna fucking kill all these people. So, and in that situation, it's like, what the fuck do you do? So that's how it's explained, essentially.
I guess it just seems like the dominants are so OP that it's hard for me to like accept it. But yeah, whatever.
It is kind of funny though that for that plot to work, they had to give her the weakest dominant, basically. Like,
yeah, I don't know, because she hasn't used it once since she became a part of our crew, so I have no clue.
Like,
I don't think she's weak, so it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean,
they can't kill entire kingdoms, though.
The beginning of the game, they show her dominant getting its ass whooped too. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah,
they can't kill entire kingdoms. It's just not. It's not a thing that they can do.
Like compared. Sorry, you mean dominance in general, or what?
Like, I don't think that her dominant. I don't. Yeah, maybe like
her dominant. No, but
maybe,
like they're definitely you. There's some that can and probably would. So. Yeah,
because I mean, like, if that was, but the thing is that like the writing legitimately doesn't make any sense because the only dominant that Ironblood had was her. I'm pretty sure. So if like
this is more or less my issue with it is that I don't think she is dumb or weak enough to be in the position that she was in. Period. I don't care how you try to cut the fucking cake. She was a dominant and she has a good head on her shoulders. Like, it's not a big deal. It's a very small thing, but it's just like I don't know. I would have felt better if the interaction with how she like comes into us would have been just pure random. Then
I mean, it's one of those
being
things
like in that situation, but it's literally
it's a
not.
Story thing. You just have to accept it, right? I mean, it's
exactly.
It's
not a big deal.
Theory craft all day. I mean, you could say, okay, well, she was so broken and defeated by her experience. Right. Her entire family and friends were all killed or enslaved that she was just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I'll just do this. You know, I mean, it's kind of one of those things.
I honestly feel like that is probably very likely.
Yeah, it's like, where would I even go if I broke out anyway? It's like, who cares? But so I mean, you could talk all that stuff away, but I do think it is interesting. I mean, there's very clearly like some dominance, like, you know, with I guess I could say this and it doesn't give anything away. Like Kupka's dominant probably could level an entire city, right? Like, I think they make that pretty clear.
Is that Benedicta's love interest?
Yeah, the rock guy. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel that way about all of them. I don't know. I can't really, I guess, remember what's her names. But I feel like they're all pretty strong. Maybe even Benedicta's is like
obviously
weakest. But
I mean, Gruda.
They're obviously very strong. I mean, like they say that about Kupka. They literally say like just via him awakening as a dominant is the only reason why he has political power in Dalmek. That's the only reason why he's so high up is because he's so fucking strong that they're just like, okay, yeah, we'll do whatever you say. So like that in that sense, like 100%. But in terms of like, I feel like it's more so just like an understanding of like, well, how powerful are they? Obviously, they're powerful enough to like fuck some shit up really hard, but taking over an entire kingdom, I don't know.
There's definitely power rankings within the dominance for sure. Like you can
that
tell.
too. It's clear, that there's a
Kupka
hierarchy
goes fucking
there.
hard. Yeah, he literally, you see him level a mountain whenever he goes to the hideaway, which was awesome, by the way. That's like literally like the
And I don't want us to say anything, but they one up.
They do
everything you've seen before, and then they'll do it again, and then they'll do it again. Like it. Anytime you think the scale of what is going to happen on screen can't get bigger and more crazy, they're just going to keep doing it. It's so nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm excited to see. You're almost caught up with me. You're probably 10 hours away from being, maybe less, from being caught up with me. So I would say, I should probably pick it back up. That way we're at about the same pace. But
I was telling Crossy I'm probably going to go for all the side quests.
Oh God.
So
he's a sicko, dude.
We'll see how that goes.
It's crazy how I feel like I love this shit in a general sense more than you guys do, like Final Fantasy or just, fucking like, I don't know, these kinds of games, like, JRPGs or whatever the fuck. But I never am the type to do all the side quests and stuff. And then, Chandler, when he was playing Rebirth, that's what he was saying. He's like, I'm going to do fucking everything. And I'm like, dude, I could never. And then Merced now, I'm just like, dude,
the first two zones.
What is wrong with you fucking guys?
It's just, it really all that it is it's more like, if just The game hit like a tone for me just because I like the level of maturity, and I like I like how serious it's taking itself, and because of that I can take the world seriously and I can care about the world, and I can
I think man, we've devoted so much more time to this than I thought we would, but I do think that is my biggest complaint about the side quests in the game, is that you do not know until it's too late which ones are going to be interesting or impactful.
Merced was talking about this yesterday because he was kind of trying to look it up so he could save himself that time, and he was saying people kind of more than once said so many of them are worth it, it's just better to just do all of them anyway because it will all sort of add value.
Yeah, but I mean, then it's like, this is the problem that I have with games like this, is I agree that the story, narrative, characters, world building, lore, all that stuff in the Final Fantasy 16 world make all of that stuff worth it. What happens though is that you hit your peak crescendo of enjoyment with the gameplay at a certain point, and then at that point you do what I did, where you fall completely off because the value of the gameplay and the story have not really continued to climb in a way, or haven't, they've plateaued or even started going down in the case of gameplay enjoyment. Because after 40 or 50 hours, which by the way is, if you're doing all of the side quests, maybe 2/3 of the way through the game, right? Like at that point, it's
says like 80% or 80 hours.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I mean, I've run out of steam on this particular journey, right?
Yeah.
Gameplay wise. And gameplay is the thing that I could play a game that has okay gameplay if it has a great story, but there is still a certain point where the gameplay has to be interesting enough, otherwise I'm falling asleep.
Yeah. That being said, I do think Merced is not going to have the same problem I did at the point in the game that I did. It seems like
he's enjoying the gameplay much more.
Going to be I did too. Like I was not. I don't know. Just the vibes I'm getting from the things Merced's saying. I think he's going to like sort of maybe breeze through the part of the game I sort of slowed down on.
We'll see, because I mean, like I said, I definitely want to talk about this more once I'm done. That could be a while.
I can't wait.
But
I've wanted to talk about the ending of this game with someone for so long.
It'll be. I'm excited. The hard part, honestly, is fucking finding time now.
Yeah, I know.
Play this fucking game. But
all right, let's wrap up Final Fantasy talk. I want to get before we end here, I do want to talk about Astro Bot.
Nice. I want to hear about this because this is one of those ones I really want to get. And I'm just, and I know we kind of talked about this before in the chat, and I don't know how else to say it other than I value my time money situation right now a very specific way, where I know I don't allocate that much time for video games, and games are expensive, and it's like, okay, I could buy Astro Bot and beat it in like a couple sit downs and have a really good time and love it and enjoy it, or I could buy some other game that I could potentially give just so much more time to that same price. And by the time, like let's say fast forward 3 months, this other game I'm looking at might go on sale like 20% off, $20 off.
Sure.
But in 3 months, Astro Bot could literally be on the Sony Game Pass, and I don't have to pay anything, and I could still play it. It's just like
that's true.
When I hold up the things available to me, it's just like, if I literally wait small amount of time, these might be on sale. This one might be free. So it's just like, that's the only reason I haven't bought it, but it looks so fun.
I do think that Astro Bot, I mean, is it 60? 60, right?
I can't remember. It might be 50, 60, 70. I'm not sure.
I think it's 60. Metaphor is 70, and you're going to get 100 and something hours out of that game, right? So I do understand what you're saying. Yeah. But in terms of just raw enjoyment, like enjoyment per minute,
It looks so fun.
You are maximizing your time in terms of fun in a way that I cannot believe that I'm
60.
saying out loud.
Yeah.
We all know, you know, Chandler hates fucking fun is like the meme around here. I actually have decided that it's not me, it's that Mario games are all bad now.
Oh,
because Astro Bot is so unbelievably good and fun, and at every possible second, every possible level, almost every mechanic. The worst I can say about it is I'll play a portion, especially in one of the challenge levels, and I'll go, that doesn't seem really well considered as an obstacle design, or you know, well considered is considered enough. I think like they probably could have put a little bit more thought into this and tuned this out a little bit to where it doesn't feel like the friction is as annoying as it is in some of those challenge levels. But all of the regular levels are so enjoyable from start to finish. They're the right length. You know, some of them you'll even finish. You're like, oh, I could have gone for that mechanic a little bit longer, you know, or whatever. But it does feel like they really nailed the amount of time that you're like, that you would want to spend doing something. And then they bring them back, but it's long enough later that you're like, oh yeah, like I'm excited to do this again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you beat it?
So I'm about 3 or 4 levels away, I would say, from beating it. I've probably I have about 240 or 50 bots out of 300. So, and I would say on average,
those like skins.
No, those are the things. Those are the
abilities.
stars. Those are what you're collecting throughout the levels. So you're looking for bots, collecting.
You
them.
have skins.
You can buy some skins with the coins that you collect. They come out of the gacha machine, which
Nice.
So like the way the game works is on every level there will be, you know, between 5 and 7 bots, and about, you know, 20%, 30% of them will be PlayStation themed ones. So they'll be like, this is a Hellgast from Killzone, you know, or whatever. And this is a, you know, fucking Crash Bandicoot, you know, or whatever. And you'll get that. And then the rest of them are just generic. They look like you, but not as cool. They don't have a cape. And yeah, that's what makes you the main character. You have a cape. And getting all of those and getting all of the puzzle pieces which are hidden around the map basically is 100%ing that level. About every 2 or 3 levels there's also a secret level hidden inside of the level. So you'll find like a warp zone and it'll take you to a completely different level with completely different mechanics. So it's almost like an alternate exit from the stage, really. Yeah, I would say on average, I probably just on my first playthrough of most of the missions will get 80 to 100% of all of the stuff. Generally. Some of the stuff is hidden really well. They hide the secret exits very cleverly. I found one by mistake yesterday that I was like, I do not even know how I found this. Like it involved something that was so cute. I couldn't even believe it. Like it was the end of a stage after like a big boss fight. And I was like standing in like a desert zone and there were rocks on the ground around me. And there was a coin somewhere. So I went up to get the coin and I happened to realize by breaking a pot that there were invisible platforms. And the invisible platforms directly coincided with the rocks that were on the ground below. Fucking awesome, dude. I was just like, oh shit, and like did it, and it took me to the secret exit, like the warp area, and I was like, this is the best.
Yeah.
Every level is just packed with little cute shit like that. It's so fun. So like, I'll give you an example. You'll get a bot, like one of the PlayStation themed ones, and you'll be like, it's Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil 2 or whatever. It's always like a PlayStation game, something that you associate with like PlayStation generally. They could be multi-platform games, but you know, it'll be like this. PlayStation was the primary console for this.
Yeah.
Or like you'll get can you guys hear that fire truck, by the way?
It's like super faint, but yeah.
Dude. God damn. So
this guy lives in New York.
I know. I'm fucking burning over here. Call the fire department. So they so
It's
you'll get
cooking again.
yeah. You'll get like a PlayStation you'll get like a PlayStation themed guy. I'll use one of Merced's favorites. You get the kid from Shadow of the Colossus. And
The
you get him,
Wanderer, show respect.
the Wanderer.
Yeah, his name's Wanderer.
You get the kid from Shadow of the Colossus, and the good before he turns evil, by the way, because that literal whole game is just him becoming the worst guy. He's becoming the Hitler of the Colossi, and just to save some pussy. But
absolutely, dude, me.
yeah, me for real. And so like, you get him, and you get him back to the zone, and he just kind of stands there. You have to spend your coins in the gacha machine to get whatever his item is that fully activates him. So like for him, it's his sword, and he holds it up and it gets shiny, and then you can punch him and interact with him, and he'll like drop all of his geckos. Remember, you got to get the geckos to get your health up. He'll drop all of his geckos on the ground, and he'll go, oh fuck, and like scoop them all back up. Like cute shit like that. Every single one has like one of those. So like it's basically like a twofold level of nostalgic enjoyment where you get, something. That's like
cool.
Tomb Raider, and then, like Lara Croft, she just stands around, and then you get her thing out of the gacha machine, and it's a dinosaur. And the dinosaur chases her around, and that's like her cute thing. And yeah, it's just very nice. The whole time you're playing it, you're just like, this is so nice.
Yeah, that makes me want to play it. To be honest,
it's really great. The thing that disappoints me the most is the stuff I don't want to spoil because it's like kind of buried deep in there, but some of the marketing showed it off. You guys probably saw in one of the gameplay demonstrations they did, you get to play as Kratos for a while. Did you guys see that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay,
but I mean, I would assume at this point he's like one of their duders.
At the end of every like series of stages is another game, basically. The first one you do is Kratos. You play as Kratos for a while, and it is fun because like it carries over all the mechanics. Like they build the stage as a God of War stage. So like you run around as Kratos, there's like axes, you throw your axe and bring it back and solve puzzles. Some of the same puzzles from God of War are in it. Like freezing the water shit with the axe, or having a gear that you need to freeze or whatever, that kind of shit. They do all those things, pushing boxes around, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing that bums me out is that they choose games that you're like, I would rather them pick older stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I've just got done playing a God of War game. I don't need to play a God of War game right in this cute little platformer. I don't need to do it. I don't need an axe. I don't need to hit green crows. I feel like I just did all that shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I assume they do like Jak and Daxter and stuff, right?
No.
Not
to spoil it for you, but no. Name another cool one that you think they would do.
Gex.
No.
Oh, well.
I don't even know if he's in it,
Spyro.
actually. No.
Spyro.
You see my problem?
I don't know. That would be like wild to me.
Keep going. You probably will not get it.
But I mean, they did. The weird thing is that they would include something like Shadow of the Colossus, but they wouldn't include.
Well, like that. What I'm saying,
mascots.
I'm saying no. All the mascots are included. I'm saying the levels where you play as them with the different mechanics.
Oh,
there's
I got
four
you.
in the game, unless there's some hidden one at the end that I don't know about. But there's 4 in the game
see what
so
you're
far.
saying. Okay,
I've done 3 of them. They are all games, with the exception of one that is a bit older and a bit more unique. So far, they've all been games that I'm like, this could have, and even that one is not that fun. But the one that's the most fun is still a game that you're like, this is a game that you make recently. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to do this, but that's the one that's the most fun. None of, like, fucking, even Crash Bandicoot, fucking Spyro, fucking, sure, Jak and Daxter, maybe. They're probably in the game. I haven't seen them. You know, all of
Ratchet
like,
and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. Like, yeah, Ratchet and Clank is one of the earliest themed like characters that you get, like bots that you get, but they just stand around and do Ratchet and Clank shit in the base. Spyro, you get Spyro. He just does Spyro shit in the base. Like, you don't play a level, but those are the ones to me that make the most sense because they're in the same genre. They're platformers.
They're platformers, yeah.
Fucking Sly Cooper. Any of this shit.
Oh shit, do a Sly Cooper one.
Literally
would be fucking crazy.
Any of this. You know what I bet? Here's the thing that pisses me off. I'm going to make a bet right now, and I'm probably going to be right. One of the levels is going to be Spider-Man.
I wouldn't be surprised. That was what I was thinking.
I don't care.
Maybe they're just trying to make kids pog out.
I can play a Spider-Man game.
Yeah, but maybe they're trying to make kids pod out now. They don't care about making us. We're old. We're old farts.
Do something different, though. I don't know. You're right. I mean, it's literally, it's about PlayStation Now. So of course they're going to do, not now, the streaming platform. It's about the current state of the PlayStation brand. So they're going to do the modern stuff that people care about. But it is weird. Like, all of the stuff that you would name that you would think that they would do that for, they don't. So... And by the way, all the God of War shit is only around new God of War. None of it is around old God of War, of course. Even though old God of War started on the PlayStation. God of War 1 was actually, they were all PlayStation exclusives. Every God of War game.
Yeah.
No Chains of fucking Fury or whatever the fucking, what are they called? The Blades of Chaos? No Blades of Chaos. Yeah. I mean, for a PlayStation celebration, I think my biggest bummer is that all the PlayStation stuff that I care the most about is like a cute nod in the game, and none of it is the focus. So
I heard that it.
I don't know.
How do you feel about the comparison between it and Super Mario Sunshine?
This game is so much better than every Mario game probably ever.
Okay.
I think Odyssey. I'm sure I've said this before, but I think Odyssey is like the best platformer I've ever played. So I'll be interested to see how I feel Odyssey versus Astro Bot whenever I get around to it, because I can't see them ever, anyone really topping Odyssey. It is so well made. I mean, I
saw credits in Odyssey. I know there's a lot more after that. I do like it, but to me, this is better than that, in my opinion.
So does it? This will be a huge part of it for me. And Odyssey, what I think is so great about it, outside of just it's very well made. Honestly, I feel that way. The way Mario interacts with the hat and all his movement and the variety there is just incredibly well designed. But what I like about it truly the most is that any one big area you get, the moon, the fucking desert, like the city, whatever, it's like whatever your objective is there is no like set method or, combination of techniques you have to use to get to the objectives ever. It's always like, here's these set of tools, use them and your momentum and movement however you want to get there, and you can fucking spin in a circle, fucking run into a thing, it bounces you this way. Like it reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild in this way, that you can just abuse the sort of like physics they've come up with and do whatever you need to in any moment. And there's no like defined way. It's like, okay, you have this ability now, you got to use it the right way and time your jump in the fucking shit just the right way with this new ability to be able to do the new thing. It's like, no, just do whatever you can. And I've seen so many just cool clips of like, speedrunners and shit that really have found ways to manipulate all this stuff. And it's just like, it's so fucking awesome.
This is not going for that at all.
Okay.
I mean,
so it's like
speedrunners could do some cool shit because there's definitely opportunities for sequence breaking for sure. But this is more like Mario 64 if they brought in all of the new stuff that platformers have done since then, namely the individual unique level mechanics of more modern Mario games, where it's like, okay, now I'm a cat, now I'm doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Right.
But to me, what makes it really smart is that they have taken the idea of having those unique mechanics and made it so core to the experience of play that it feels more tightly considered than even some of those Mario games that I'm referring to. Like sometimes like the cat power up is a good example of a bad thing. I think it's cute that Mario's a cat. I like that now you can climb walls or whatever, but it's like it doesn't fundamentally change the game, and they really only design broadly considering that as a requirement, right? Like they're like, okay, you could still play through this part of the game as regular Mario, you know, or whatever. In Astro Bot, it is just the way the game is designed around each power up, I think, is very enjoyable. They've specifically made it their mission to make the power-ups the thing. The movement mechanics are good. I think that you will not be disappointed there, but your tool set is more limited because they're trying to make the power-ups a big focus. And I think the length of the game is kind of tighter because of that. I mean, I also think Odyssey is probably a 10, 15-hour game as well. I mean, in general, unless you're going to be completionist, then it maybe becomes 20 hours or something like that. But I feel like it's not that long either. But
so are the levels set up to be like playgrounds that you run around in, or are they like linear, like you need to go get this thing by the end of the level and then you're just done, you leave and you go on to the next one?
They're all linear eventually, but some of them have big playground areas. And there are a lot of little side things to see and do throughout the levels, even the ones that are linear. There's some clever off the beaten path stuff that if you're paying attention, you'll find and do. Okay. But for the most part, they're going for a Mario 64 thing. So like the same way, you know, think about like the first level of like the Bob-omb Warzone or whatever of Mario 64. There is a specific end objective that you need to get to, but there's a lot of random sightseeing and side shit that you can do that give you extra stars or extra whatever, or, you know, coins or that kind of stuff. That's basically the design of this game. Like they've done almost all the levels that way.
Yeah, I was curious about that because it was getting a lot of comparisons to the Mario games, which I guess is fair, but I feel like we shouldn't really be comparing just because it's a platformer, comparing it to Mario like every second of every day. But I guess true. That's just like the fate of all platformers that come out.
I mean, I think Mario has gone in a lot of different directions over the years, which is cool. Like, I mean, people who like Mario games, it's kind of like Zelda, right? Where it's like every Zelda game on some level has the same base ideas, but the mechanics are pretty substantially different across most Zelda games. I would say Mario is the same. I would say this harkens back to old Mario in ways that I think people are enjoying. Because Odyssey, to me, I didn't like. I mean, it was good. I did like it, but I didn't. The things that Crossley explicitly is saying that he likes about it are the things that I don't really care for about platformer games. Like very open, very exploratory, very like, you know, use the momentum and movement mechanics in ways that kind of sequence break or like cut around certain things or find, you know, unique paths, or that stuff to me is cool, but it's not what I'm going to a platformer for. The platformers I always enjoyed the most were like Crash Bandicoot and shit, like Spyro. Things that were more tightly designed, I guess, around specific levels.
Yeah, I definitely don't. Yeah, that's not me. But that's not even just platformers. It's just games in general. Like, it's why I'll like the Dark Souls and Elden Ring more than Sekiro. It's like,
I understand, yeah.
One sort of caters towards do whatever you want and make it work, and the other one sort of caters towards do what we want you to do and be good at it.
I think my enjoyment of it is entirely based around the mechanics. Like, I like open stuff, like Elden Ring, I obviously really like, But to me, I think, one of From Software's narrative games is stronger. Like one of their linear games is stronger to me than one of their open world games. I mean, they've only done one open world game at this point, so whatever. They could get it better. But I do think the mechanics of that game carry it. Elden Ring is what I mean. And I'm willing to do the exploration because I like the world. I like all that stuff. To me, I'm not a huge Mario person anyway. The world doesn't really mean anything to me, so exploration loses its value when I'm not like that enamored by what I'm seeing. And then it's like, okay, well, I don't really think the mechanics of Mario games are that interesting either. I think the Cappy stuff is fun and cool. It's also, you can do that linearly as well. It doesn't need to be wide open. So I don't know. I think it's just a difference of taste, but for me, it's like I enjoy what Astro Bot is doing more. And I think the smartest thing that Astro Bot has ever done, and I think I'm not the first person to make this observation, that your double jump equivalent, your like little glide, does damage to enemies that are below you. I think that's insanely clever because I think part of the thing I don't like about modern 3D Mario is stomping on heads is harder in 3D than it is in 2D. I think 2D Mario games were better because when there's only one plane, if you're jumping on something's head, you only need to align yourself in a left-right situation in order to land on it. I think you're laughing, but I'm so being for real right now. I think that a 3D Mario game makes that objectively a worse mechanic. Like,
I think it makes it harder, yeah.
Like, especially in more modern Mario games, there's a lot more going on. I think it is worse. So I think that having it to where Astro Bot does damage the whole way through the jump, where by shooting the little laser beams out of his feet, is like a brilliant solution to that. And those little laser beams help you line up on really tiny platforms because you can always see where you're going to land.
Yeah, that was the direct comparison to Super Mario Sunshine that a lot of people were making, where they were like,
"Oh, because of
they stole this mechanic from Super Mario Sunshine."
Yeah, because of the little jetpack thing. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I didn't think about that, but yeah, and I haven't played Super Mario Sunshine since it was new. But that is an example of something that they could have stolen. But I think the design of Sunshine being a completely one world, like Jak and Daxter style, like it's like one open space, totally different. Like that's not what this is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's like the only thing that I've seen in terms of like a comparison between this game and Super Mario Sunshine. But it seems like a lot of the comparisons that I've been seeing people make is that it's almost like a smorgasbord of different fucking aspects of all the different Mario
platformers
games,
and Mario
kind of
games.
just like mashed. Yeah,
it's true.
But I mean, I've heard it's all like it's basically done to the point where it's of such incredibly high quality that I don't think that any reviewer is taking that as a negative. It's
no.
Just like, yeah,
it's true. I think it's a good way of putting it. So, yeah, I want you guys to give it a shot so I can see, your opinions on it.
Yeah,
I'm curious. I am curious. So.
Oh, hell yeah. Probably will be pretty low on the list for me, if I had to guess. There's just so much shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting games. So, okay. Anything else?
I've been playing Remnant 2. It's got all its DLC out. It's a good game, guys. Just saying.
Thanks for listening, everybody. No. I actually, I would like to. So you bought the new DLC?
Yeah, it's all on sale right now. All three were on sale. I think I got them all for like less than $20. So I was like, sure, whatever. But
interesting.
I don't even know really what it adds. I'll be honest. I just know I have friends on PlayStation that play it, and I miss Remnant, unlike you fucking bastards. So. Yeah, I was playing some last night and I was having a good time. I was like, dude, this game looks better than I remember and it feels better than I remember. And I already thought it looked and felt fine. So
it is a cool game. I do think the design of that game, the way that they do the random generation of the levels and stuff, does kind of make it less like what you just said. I don't even know what they added and what's new. It does kind of make it less prone.
Well,
for
so
DLC
there's this
to make
thing you
sense.
can do. There's this
I
thing
know
you
what
can
you're
do.
talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I do know that, but go ahead. Because yeah.
Yeah, there's this thing you can do where you can essentially, when you go touch the crystal, you can choose to do the campaign again, fresh start, and it be fully randomized or whatever. And you can choose to go engage with a level that's only the new content.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also do some boss rush mode, which I haven't tried yet. But I like that if I did want to just see whatever the new content is, I could. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I'd be curious to try it out. I think we should jump back into that at some point. The new DLC is not on sale, but the full bundle altogether is for 20.
Yeah.
So
I got it for like 16, I think.
They're 10 each, from what I can tell.
We were supposed to play Dark Tide.
I still want to. So we should do that, actually. We should. I also mentioned I wanted to do that with Mossberg, and he was like, oh, okay. I don't think he was that interested, but I want to. So fuck him. Yeah. Let's play Dark Tide. That's a good idea. And Remnant 2. I would like to get back into that. I did have fun with it. So.
Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff to do as well. I mean, yeah, if y'all enjoy just the gameplay itself, if y'all are having fun when y'all are playing it, there's still plenty of content to like engage with. So
for sure. Okay.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Boom. Yeah. That's it. We did it. We talked about video games.
Fuck yeah.
Congratulations to all of us for undertaking this gargantuan task of talking about video games in the year 2024. There's so many. I think I'm going to platinum Astro Bot, by the way.
Nice, dude.
Oh, shit.
Is it like a ridiculous ask, or is it kind of just like do all the things?
I think it's just do all the things. I think it'll be pretty easy. So I'm going to do it.
It's not like complete each level in like a record time. Like
No. I would not do that if that was the case.
Yeah, that type of shit's so cringe.
All right, gang. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
Woo.
Peace.
Peace.